Hi there, I just thought I'd talk on it. I haven't been on YouTube for a while. So I just thought I'd show some tips that I've learned since picking up playing violin again. I don't know if you knew, but I used to play violin when I was younger, about 9 years old. Played to about grade 3. Did really well. Even got a trophy for it. Then I stopped, and then it's only recently, last month, I thought I'd take up playing again. So things I've learned is you need to have a good bow, so it has to be tightened as well. Also, it's good to have a good grip of the bow, so especially make sure your thumb is like curled near the frog. Also just have like curved fingers, because otherwise it's hard to move the bow. Also, it's good to use as much of the bow when you're playing, I've noticed. Also, you have to make sure you apply rosin to your bow, because if you don't, you might find it doesn't produce a sound, or it won't be very loud when you're playing. So I had, for instance, I was trying to play the other day and I was like, why isn't it making much of a noise? And then I realised it's because I need to apply rosin, which is a bit like a chalk powder that you apply to your instrument. And then I saw a really good tip. Somebody suggested you can actually apply rosin to the violin, but don't overdo it, because you obviously don't want it like looking like it's like snow on the violin. So making sure to dust afterwards. Also, it's best to have a shoulder grip, so I'm looking at saving money to get one, because at the moment I'm playing without, but I realise if I want to do things like learn vibrato, it's going to be harder without a shoulder clip. Also, I'm looking at possibly taking lessons again, so I might be signing up to a local music school to go and learn grade 3. I mean, what was good when I was younger, because I'd already played piano, I skipped grade 1 and actually went straight into grade 2. So you might find as a beginner, you might pick it up real quick and be able to skip the grades. And I think it helped that when I was younger that I already had knowledge of playing piano and reading musical notes, because that's another thing. What I've learned when I've been playing with a band is it's good to have a fast knowledge of music theory, so you can prepare to play the bar that you're playing ahead of time, because it's a bit distracting if you have to keep looking at the sheet and then thinking, oh, what note do I have to play? Also, a good tip, if you're looking at music sheets, is say you need to know like the finger notation for a piece. You can actually write, like, say it was like, I don't know, it was, say they needed you to play a high E note. I know that's F, so you need to be playing the first finger on the E string, so I'd put like a number 1 on top of that note. So I think when you're first starting, it's good to put the number of the finger placement, so it might be second finger on a D is F as well. And also it's just learning the difference between a low D and a high D. And then I find that as you get more advanced, you might find that you don't need to play open strings, and you could play, say, a 4th finger to make an A note instead of playing an open A, which would sound more smooth, because when you're switching between notes, it can get a bit like, it doesn't look very smooth, the transition. At the moment, for the beginners that I'm helping, I'm just telling them to play the open string because it's just easier, because some of them won't have learnt like how to play with a 4th note, 4th finger. But that's something that I've learned. But I still have to improve my technique, and I'm willing to do that. So I might look at booking a batch of lessons. And then what's been really helpful, I've been looking on YouTube to look at other artists that play violin and trying to play along with their sheet music online. So what's great is you can pause the video, try and practice it yourself, and then play it again until you're comfortable at the speed. And I think with any instrument, it's good to start really slow so that you've mastered the notes, and then start to speed it up once you know what you're doing. So I thought that's what I'd mention. I am also playing piano in the background, but it's just like at the moment I feel like violin is calling me. Violin is calling me, you know, because I'm helping out with a local band. And it's something that I always found I was a little bit better at playing. I don't know whether it's because I already mastered piano, the basics, but I find it a bit simpler to play. Also, one thing I've learned, it's good to develop, instead of just music reading, playing by ear. So you could hear a note and then decide, oh, you can tell if it's not in tune. So you could pick a tune that you know, try to replicate playing it, and then you can tell if it's in tune or not in tune. Because I've been also trying to play the instrument, play the violin without finger tapes. Finger tapes are good though, because they literally show you where to place your fingers on the fingerboard, because you don't have frets. So by having tapes, you can instantly look where to place your fingers. But I find that as you get more, say, advanced, you'll find that it's easier to not have the finger tapes and just kind of like play it by ear. So I might play a little bit of the note to see if it sounds in tune. And then I'm just thinking of something else that I discovered, because there's so many things that I've learnt. So when I was playing, there was like the trying to make sure it plays in tune. And that's another thing, if you need to tune your violin, I usually use a piano, but I'm starting to get to a point where I can tune it by ear. So I know that it plays in intervals of fifths. So you got your G string, then the next string is D, because it goes G, and then it goes A, B, C, D. So D is like the fifth from the G. Then you got A, and then you got E. So what you can do is you could use like a fellow violin player just to tune your violin against theirs and see if it sounds the same. And then you could play two of the first strings together just to see if that sounds in tune. So yes, I just thought I'd recap all the things, all the tips I've learnt from playing violin. Okay, bye for now.